Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Rewind That. It's your girl, Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Alright guys, we're going to be going over the latest episode of Snowfall, Season 6, episode number 5, called Ebony and Ivory. Alright, so the episode starts off with V and her mom, and they're staking out the nursing home where they can find Teddy's father. Okay, so they're having this conversation where Cassandra is telling her daughter that she needs to have an exit plan. Okay, the man that she's with is a man who is pretty much insatiable. After he gets this money from the CIA, if that happens, he's not gonna want to stop. He's never gonna be satisfied. Okay, like, let's go to St. Lucia, let's go to Barbados. Like, she is trying to get V the heck away from Franklin. Okay, but V doesn't want to hear anything her mother has to say because she feels like she's had a terrible choice of men anyway. But Cassandra says, well, even more of a reason for me to be letting you know that I can spot a man who is no good for you. Okay, so as she's trying to talk about it, V tells her mom, okay, mom, wait, slow down, be quiet. There he goes right there, pointing to Teddy's dad. So V calls Franklin, tells him that they have eyes on him. You need to get here soon though. And he says, okay, 24 hours. This does not look like it made V happy because she's like, Dad, we gotta wait around for 24 freaking hours. Okay, and meanwhile Franklin is at some kind of bar with Kane, and he's letting Kane know that he got some business to take care of, and Kane is like, you need to tend to the business of finding your uncle. Okay, like, that's what you need to do. Keep your eye on my prize. Okay, and what I have to say to this situation is that I do believe after watching this episode that Franklin is going to be the one to kill Kane. Okay, and I think this way because Kane is like this big bad wolf type of guy. You know, you even heard Scully say that he is someone who is like a lion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to mess with him. But I think because Kane knows that he's the big bad wolf and nobody can mess with him, blah blah blah, it causes him to underestimate Franklin. And so that's why I think that Franklin would be the one to kill him, especially because he has easy access to him. But anyway, as much as Franklin wants to leave, Kane is telling him, you ain't going nowhere, okay? Besides that club, I'm pretty sure you know another place that we could find your uncle and that wife of his. Okay, so think, because if not, we got a long night ahead of us, all right? So Franklin turns around and he sees this lady on TV on a horse. And looky, you know what that means. Franklin now knows that he can find his precious Louie where she likes to ride her horses. Next, Buckley goes to deliver the news to Louie and Jerome that Kane got out of the shootout, okay? And he was saved by none other than Franklin, okay? Of course, this is not good news to Louie especially, but the one thing that I did notice about this scene was Uncle Jerome seeming to be kind of impressed that his nephew shot his way out of that shootout. I could be wrong, but to me it looks like he was impressed. Okay, so anyway guys, before Buckley leaves, Jerome sits down and he says, look at me, N-word, are you using? Buckley says, no, you using. So Jerome says, listen, if you are, there is no coming back. Okay, so Buckley leaves. And all Louie cares about is the fact that, oh, we could have had him. We could have ended it all right there. You can see on Jerome's face that he is wearing down, guys. He's really getting tired of all of this, okay? Next, Rennie comes to see Leon, and he tells him that Dion has a girl out in Linwood, and he took all the product and the cash. Well, actually, that was Einstein who added that part. So Rennie's whole point in coming here is to say that, listen, we are confused, okay? 1 minute you in, basically talking about Leon, and next minute you're out, and now Dion is in, and now you're back. Okay, so this causes Leon to go outside and make it clear that I'm back, ninjas. Who else wants some? Who else got a problem? So even though I think that Leon is not doing the best thing for him, I kind of understand why he's doing it, because the projects is just under bad leadership with Dion. And as much as he wants to save his people, he kind of feels like the only way to really do that is for himself to be in leadership. But before I move on, I do want to say, listen, Rennie was making some really good points by saying that, you know, Leon's behavior is confusing to them. Like, you know, you talking peace, but you dropping bodies. You running this ish, but then you quit. You know, you went to Africa and married a crackhead. You know, of course, Leon had to say, yo, watch your mouth, you know. But Rennie was just basically saying what the streets are saying, you know. And he even said, I'm sorry, Wanda, no disrespect. So I appreciated him coming through and keeping it real. I really did. But honestly, I think the main reason why Leon decided to step up in this moment and to go basically reclaim his crown in the hood is because of what Rennie was saying. Like, if you think that the leadership was bad under D, then just wait and see, because there is a bunch of dudes who want that crown. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be no better. So Leon is just feeling like, okay, well, if there ain't no better choice, then it's better for it to be me, right? Especially after Rennie said, people need to know that things are not going to be changing or willy-nilly, and, you know, they want to make money and they want to be looked after. And as much as Wanda didn't want to have his back with the situation, she just, you know, what else can she freaking do? You know what I'm saying? So she's just like, you know, like you said, why stop now? You know, like, we in this now. Where else can we go? I tell you where else you could go. Back to freaking Africa. That's that. Back to your little paradise, please. Next also goes to see Ciamora and tells her what is really going on with him, how he was confronted by the DEA and all of that, and that if he was to tell her what was going on, that there would be no deal. And so she's like, well, you should have told me anyway. And he's like, of course I wanted to. Did you think I wanted to do this alone and all of this? So he tells her about the raid that's going to happen the next day of Teddy's warehouse and how he has to go into witness protection with her and the boys. And Xiomara's like, no way. Like, I don't want to live like that under somebody's like umbrella. And then what happens if they screw up? Then the CIA is going to be after us and all of this. So it's another tough situation. We just see tough situation after situation with these characters, guys. And I know that if you guys watch me during the live watch that I have with Lamont, you guys know that I'm very hopeless when it comes to this show, this season finale. I don't see many survivors. I probably see like 2-3 survivors, y'all. Like, seriously, I'm hopeless. I'm sorry, I'm hopeless, but I'm hoping of all people to survive that it's also in his family, because I feel like he's actually one of the best characters as far as, you know, the darkness. Like, he's not dark. So I'm rooting for him, okay? But, you know, also is saying that I'm not asking you to come into witness of protection with me. I think you should have a free life. You deserve a better life. But if you want to leave, you're going to have to leave tonight, you know? Because I guess once he brought up witness protection, she automatically assumed that it was going to be her and the boys to go with him, right? Because she didn't really let him finish what he was saying. But anyway, as he's saying you need to leave, she's like, go where? With no money? Like, where am I going to go? So bottom line is, Xiomara tells Oso that she just needs a regular, boring freaking life, okay? And he is going to figure out how to make that happen for them, all right? So y'all already know, with that type of fire under his behind, Oso is driven by protecting his family. I think he's going to do whatever he can to make it happen, okay? Next. So now, in a similar situation, we got Franklin going to Sissy, telling her that she needs to get out of town, you know, like, run, mama, run, right? And she's like, I ain't running then and I'm not running now, okay? Because he already knows what he's about to do to Teddy's father, and it's going to be some tit for tat mess, okay? So that's that, guys. That is honestly a scary thing, because after we saw what Franklin did to Teddy's father, it is a very strong possibility that Sissy is going to die by way of Teddy. The only way that's not going to happen is if somebody gets to him first. And I really hope that Oso does. I want them all to come together, back Teddy into a corner, and let Sissy take the kill shot. That's what I want. Okay? But I will say this. I am very happy to see Sissy continuing her work at Alton's shelter. It's really beautiful to see. It's always nice to see them giving back and everything. But unfortunately, I guess she's come to a place where she feels like she doesn't care if she lives or dies, especially because she allowed her son to live this street life. Well, she didn't really allow it. She couldn't do anything about it, right? But then she started to have herself a good life from it. So now I guess she feel like if she's going to die, she's going to die. And maybe there's guilt involved in that. You know what I mean? She probably also feels lonely because she misses Alton a lot. So there's that, right? But we'll see what she does because, Franklin, he really wasn't trying to let up and he was pleading with her, like, please do this for me. So we shall see where that goes, right? Next, Oso meets up with Teddy and he tells him that after they came back from Costa Rica, him and Xiomara had a fight and he went to a bar and he was approached by the man in the sketch, who we know is Ruben, right? And I was like, this is so good, Oso. That was so smart because Teddy is already feeling some type of way. He told the other CIA guy that Oso has been off. And the other dude was like, so do you think that he's turned? And he's like, I don't know. So this is very smart on Oso's part, okay? And Teddy was like, well, I'm glad that you told me, So we're just going to have to continue to see how Oso plays his hand, and he has to be really careful. And I really hope that he reaches out to Franklin so they could really come up with the plan to get rid of this dude, Teddy. All right, guys. So, Oso goes on to tell Teddy that Ruben threatened him and his family if he didn't help him. And Teddy was like, help him do what? So basically, to prove that Teddy was moving coke to finance a war. Okay. He's also panicking, right? And he starts telling Teddy, well, we got to move everything from the warehouse because he knows everything, blah, blah, blah. And Teddy tells him, don't worry about it. I already moved the weight, right? And he was like, when? So Teddy was like, last night after I followed the man in the sketch home from the bar after he approached you. So basically letting Oso know that, bro, I got eyes on you, which Oso is not stupid, okay? That's why he's been so freaking paranoid this whole time, right? So after this conversation, he goes and calls the DEA dude and lets him know, yo, call off the raid for tomorrow. He moved the coke. He's going to be on to you. And he hangs up the phone. Don't even give the guy a chance to ask any questions or nothing. Just do what the heck I told you. It's not safe. Next, Kane's men find the stable that Louie goes to. So they find out that she goes there a couple times a week. And Silk, I call him Silk because I don't know his name, right? He tells the guys that's in the front seat that they're going to be there from sun up to sundown because they don't know exactly when Louie is going to show up. But when she does show up, you're going to take her alive because that's what Kane wants, okay? Next, we have V and her mom at the nursing home where Teddy's father resides. And V is there trying to act like she wants to admit her mom into this home. So while she goes to do the paperwork with the lady, Cassandra goes off to find Teddy's dad, and she's talking to him, this and that and the third. We know what happens eventually, because they're kind of getting acquainted with each other. Eventually, she tries to act like she wants to escape with him, and that's what they do. Next, Dion goes to see Louie, and well, actually, he did not go to see Louie. Let me make that very, very clear because he made it very, very clear that he was not talking to her when she decided to, say what she wanted to say, right? So he went to see Jerome to tell him that he tried to give Leon a fair one, but now Leon is about to be dealt with and he expects Jerome to starve him out, okay? And he'll be back in a couple of days or whatever. And also the reason why he told Louie that he wasn't even talking to her is because she was like, we're running a business and we're going to sell to whoever's buying, because he basically expects Jerome to not sell to Leon or anything because he's still running the projects and all of this stuff. Like, he's just going up in there with all these demands. And I'm like, Jerome, please take care of him. Y'all know that I'm pissed off at Jerome for what he did to Black Diamond and everything, but I don't care. Like, there's still certain people that I wouldn't mind him putting the beats on. Put it that way, okay? So, long story short, guys, Jerome has to excuse Louie, because clearly Dion has no respect for any female presence, okay? So once she leaves, I'm thinking that Jerome is going to really get into this dude's behind and put him in his place. But all he does is tell him that he's not getting in the middle of this situation with him and Leon, okay? And I know you big and bad, but what's going to happen after that, okay? And this dude, Dion, talking about, we going to go back to business as usual. And that's when Uncle Jerome tells him, ain't nothing normal about this business. It's getting worse. These youngins ain't like us, okay? We a dying breed. And so Dion comes back and says, no, you're a dying breed, okay? Listen, my whole thing is I wanted Jerome to bust Dion upside the head with the freaking bottle, but he didn't. And I was disappointed. But listen, after Dion leaves, Louis comes back out and she's like, everything okay, baby? And, you know, he's just like, I'm out. Like, he just is tired. He does not like what's going on. And folks is right about him. He's letting his B call the shots. And maybe that's why he didn't go upside Dion's head, because it's the truth and people see it, right? And there's no sense of him denying it or busting folks upside the head because they calling it like it is. All right. Next, I'm not going to get too much into this, guys, because I only have one major thing to say. And this is about Wanda going to help out Sissy at Alton's shelter. All right. I'm glad that she's keeping herself busy and she's also helping out. But guys, I'm afraid for her. Her return back to America has not been good, okay? She's been crying. She's sad all the time. She doesn't like what she sees. She's very sensitive towards other crackheads, which is okay. You know, that's okay. But it triggers her, all right? If she was stronger, right, and it didn't trigger her, I believe that she would be of much more help to women that are in the position that she was once in, right? But guys, I'm afraid for her as far as relapse goes. And that is all I have to say about that. But being around Sissy is a good thing. So that being said, if Sissy dies or leaves, Wanda is probably going to lose it. And she's not going to be able to take it because she doesn't have anybody around her to keep her grounded or to keep her encouraged. All right. Next, Jerome goes to his friend CJ's body shop, right? And he tells him that his car is giving him problems and all that stuff. So I decided I'm going to bring it to the magician, let you take care of her, get her purring again and all that. So I'm telling you guys, the moment that Jerome gets there, CJ was trying to get rid of him. First, he tells him, oh, we're backed up. Why don't you call back and make an appointment for next week? Jerome pulls out the money and says, you know, I'm going to take care of you. So he said, okay. Give me a few hours and you can come back, right? That's number 2, trying to get rid of this dude. So long story short, guys, Jerome sticks around for a little while. And this dude is not happy about it, okay, CJ. And that is because this is a working man and he knows that Jerome is a man who is in the game and in that street life, okay? He also noticed that there's a car that has passed about 3 different times, the same car. Okay. And he mentions it to Jerome. And Jerome saying, well, what if it was? You know? And basically, like, you know, he goes into the trunk and gets the freaking Uzi. And yo, CJ is like, whoa, please, not here. My brother, listen, I got to get home to my family. Okay. You know, I love you and all of that, but this life is not for me. And of course, I'm paraphrasing, guys. This is not my life, you know? So I understood why CJ wanted Jerome to get the heck on, because he don't need that type of heat coming around him. This is an honest working man. And, you know, at the end of the day, guys, Jerome, he respects that because that's what he wanted. He wanted Jam and Jerome's. He didn't want this life. He wanted his own business and to make an honest living. All right. Oh, but guys, Jerome is going through it. All right. I mean, even when he was leaving and he had like this one tear coming down his eye. Like, I know that I said, I don't care what happens to him anymore. But honestly, I still feel like when he dies, it's still going to be sad. Like, just because of the way they're playing this whole thing out. This man is unhappy with his life. He's traumatized. Like, he regrets his choices. He regrets his path. Like, all of that. Like, he's watching somebody that used to be in the game that stacked up his illegal bread and turned it into legal money, right? He invested it into a legal business. That's all Jerome wanted. So to see another man making it like that, and he out here warring, and he's warring with his own nephew because of this freaking trash bag that he married, this guy is feeling it and going through it, guys. Whew. But we shall see how it ends for Uncle Jerome, because it's going to end, child. But I'm sorry, before I move on, it was kind of funny when he said to all the workers in the shop, like, I'm sorry for effing up y'all day. All right, then gets in his car. I'm like, Uncle Jerome is funny, okay? Anyway, next, guys. In this episode, we also see that Teddy was up in Ruben's apartment and he found out that he was gay and all of this stuff. And I really don't have much to say about it because, to be honest, a lot of the scenes with Teddy bore me. Okay. Next, Franklin pages Teddy from a Kansas City number. Okay. Because Cassandra has Teddy's dad up in the house. I think that was his house, right? Has him in the house, and they're just, they've been talking and kicking it the whole night. Franklin and V finally get there, still acting like they're the concerned children of Cassandra, or aka Penny, right? So anyway, when Teddy calls back, he's like, Franklin, hey, how you doing? Trying to act like, stuff is cool. No, nothing is cool with us, okay, pal? So anyway, long story short, guys, Franklin tells him, listen, I have your father here. If you don't give me my money, he's gone, okay? Now, all Teddy was doing was giving the wrong answers. Like, first he tells him, I don't care. You should have did your research. I don't care about him, all this stuff. Then he's like, it's not going to end well for you, blah, blah, blah. And it was just all the wrong answers. So instead of playing around, Franklin goes and just slices Teddy's father's throat. And he bleeds out. And this is right over the phone. Like, Teddy can hear all this. And, I just didn't like that, because I just felt like this was an innocent man who had nothing to do with anything. And I felt bad for him, right? Yes, he was dying of cancer already, but so what? So anyway, Franklin then tells him, listen, that's just the first body. If you keep playing with me about my money, it's going to be your son, your little girlfriend, and the list goes on, okay? So he gets off the phone. And then Teddy goes on to tell Havmeyer and also that Franklin just killed his father, guys. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And, Franklin just goes and takes a seat casually. And V and her mother are scared, all right, out of their minds. And I do believe that this kind of situation is going to turn V against Franklin. Not to say that she's going to do something grimy. I'm just saying, like, she's not going to want to be with him. Like, it's making her look at him differently. That's what I think. And especially now, after all the stuff that her mom was saying and things like that, the very person that she's been bad-mouthing to Franklin, oh, my mom's so terrible, this and that and the third, if she ever comes around, we should run, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be the very person that she's going to run to for safety, because she is going to look at Franklin like a monster. That is what I think, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, okay? Also, another thing that I want to mention is that Franklin, when he got to the house, he's over there looking at Teddy's father like he's the bad guy, right? Like, Teddy's father's the one that did all the dirt to him. And I'm like, wow, you really got some animosity going on. Like, learn how to separate it, guy, okay? But hey, what can I say, guys, right? Pops for pops. He got rid of Alton, and now there goes that karma for Teddy. I can't feel bad for Teddy, guys. I only feel bad for Mac, who is Teddy's dad. That's really the only person in this situation that I feel bad for, all right? And also, V, being Franklin's woman, he should not have killed someone in front of her. She is pregnant. She does not need to be under that kind of stress, okay? Like, this dude is bugging out to the point where he is not thinking clearly. He's really not, guys, okay? Well, anyway, guys, Franklin then tells V and her mother to get out. He sets the place on fire, and they pull off. And that is how the episode ends. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode, this very intense episode that I'm telling you, I just feel like every episode is always setting it up lovely for the story to just continue to progress. All right, that's the video for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video, please. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.